Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. I am fully caffeinated and fully caffeinated, and I'm giggling because I just saw myself in the next 15 years or so walk past me across this parking lot, slowly, diagonally stopping traffic, but it was me in the future. It was so funny. But hey there, hi there, ho there. So it's been a beautiful day. I'm feeling a little wiggly because I've got so much caffeine in me. I had a large Dunkin's iced coffee, and then I had 2 little cups of coffee in the meeting, and I'm like, whoa, blah, blah, blah. So hey there, hi there, ho there. It's the 19th. I have a trip tomorrow morning. My report time is 7:47 a.m. It's the report time I thought I had last week. So a couple things. I just had a beautiful day. My meeting was amazing. My 10 o'clock home group meeting, fantastic meeting. I am fully caffeinated. I can feel it. And then I stopped off at Trader Joe's, and I've become a total convert to Trader Joe's. I used to be Sprouts, mostly because it's closer to my house. But I've been going to Trader Joe's lately, and I'm just blown away by the quality, and the prices are really good. I mean, I always thought Trader Joe's was super expensive, but so I just got a whole bunch of stuff. I've got a trip tomorrow, as I told you. I've got 3 legs. I've got a 2.5-hour sit after the first one in Indianapolis. Indianapolis is not amazing. The airport doesn't have that many options for food, so I figured I'd stop and get some stuff. I'm going to do a little Trader Joe's haul. A ciabatta demi baguette. I wonder if any French people would be offended by just that whole melange of words. I got some cheese slices. It's a very sharp cheddar, and they're very delicious. And I think that whole thing of cheese was like $4. I think of water crackers to eat with the cheese. The water crackers here are $2. At Sprouts, $4.50, something like that. I got these little ginger cookies because I can't not buy cookies, and I figured I can't really get in trouble with these little teeny skinny cookies, can I? If I eat the whole box. Some chicken salad, which looks really yummy. So I'm going to eat this in Indianapolis tomorrow with that baguette. This cheddar broccoli soup, sharp cheddar broccoli soup, which I think looks delicious. Chicken piccata. You can slide this open. You can see the chicken breast and the piccata sauce separate to that inside. And I got this, and I have lasagna, and I've got another chicken breast kind of thing, one of which I'm going to eat for lunch today, lunch/dinner. The other one I'll take with me for the trip. And then I got this berry lemonade, which is fantastic. It's so delicious. The blood orange, the Italian blood orange soda is even more delicious. But I got all this for $35, I think. I think it was $35, including tax, which seems like a steal. Now, I know you're thinking, Steven, you could really save money if you bought that food and cooked at home. Not really, because what I do is I cook, and then I take whatever I'm going to take with me on a trip, and then I put the rest in the fridge, and I find it 8 weeks later, and I throw it all away. For basically this plus one of the meals I have in the fridge already, I can eat for 2.5 days, if not more, because we got breakfast in New Orleans, for 2 or 3 days. So yay. All right, I'm gonna go home real quick and put this stuff in the fridge because I don't want that chicken salad to get kind of scary on me. I get very anxious around the idea of food poisoning. And then I think I'm gonna go home, make sure my bags are packed. Okay, thank you. Make sure my bags are packed and my device is all charged in preparation for work tomorrow. Love on the cats, probably take a little bit of a nap because it's that kind of day. And that's it. So I think I probably won't see you until tomorrow morning. You have a great day until then. Oh, traffic is great today. This is so nice. All right, I will see you later. I almost forgot. I went through a lot of my older videos that I made private because of a certain situation that, can't talk about that. But I went through my channel, and anytime I was in uniform or anytime I was talking about work or something, I had made unpublic, whatever. I made those videos unpublished or private. A lot of them. And some of you have asked me to make them public again because of the new social media policy and stuff. But I've gone through a few of them, and I've been watching some of the videos, my older content that I made private. And I'll tell you, I still don't know why you people watch me. I do not know, because I was bored to tears watching my own content. So I don't know how you have all survived me this whole time, but blah blah blah. So I'm probably not going to make any of those videos public because honestly none of it was very good content. So right now I'm passing by Pink Box, and you know how much I love a good donut. And look at me, look guys, watch. I'm driving past it. I'm not getting a donut. I'm so proud of myself. All right, I'll see you later. Bye. Look at my little baby. Look at my little Eleanor. Oh, I love her so much. She looks like she's sleeping, but I thought I saw her tail going a moment ago. Yeah, I see your tail. Oh, there it is. I saw it. I know you're awake. I love you. Oh, don't wake me up, Daddy. Let me rest. Let me rest. Oh, I love you. Bye. My sweet boy. Buddy. Hello. Alright, something's got his attention. Look at his fur. He's so pretty. All right, let's get this day started. I did not get a great parking spot, but it could have been worse. Could have had to have parked all the way over there, but you can see the airport is way back there. So I'll be getting some steps in this morning. First leg of the day, Indianapolis. Then we have a 2.5 hour sit, almost 3 hours. And I forget where else we're going after that. Then we're going to end up the day in New Orleans by about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So let's get this day started. Hey guys, hi, welcome to Indianapolis. Very nice airport. Very nice airport. Very clean, very open. Looks like there's a couple food options, but I bought that chicken salad yesterday with a nice fake baguette. So I'm gonna probably eat that. The flight was 3 hours and 21 minutes. We had 1.5 medicals on board. The first was a real medical, so I'll definitely be writing my little simple report. He ended up being fine, but he was just, I don't know. So we had one medical on board, and then we had what could have been a second, but it was just that she was feeling a little faint after spending her few days in Vegas without eating or drinking, and so she was surprised that she felt faint. But we gave her some juice and something to eat, and she recovered quickly. But it was a lot of activity on board for that length of a flight. So I'm happy to not have any more medicals. We have a 2.5 hour sit, which is now extended 45 minutes longer because we're delayed. But yeah, it's gonna be a long day, guys, long day. But I'm looking for somewhere to sit down, maybe make my sandwich, and I wish I could take a nap. I can't, I'm in uniform. All right, I'll see you guys later. And hello, still in Indianapolis. I just used the little boys' room. I knew you wanted to know that. I was tempted to buy a burger or something here, but I've got chicken salad from yesterday, a baguette. A passenger gave me a slew of compliments. It was very, very sweet. She said, thank you for making the flight so enjoyable and blah, blah, blah. And she also gave me a cookie, which looks very yummy. So I'm gonna enjoy part of that with some chicken salad. I got this great little table all to myself, very happy. my favorite cutlery set in the world. And yeah, I'm settling in for a 2-hour sit. So I'm really enjoying this chicken salad sandwich. But do you know what would make this sandwich even better? Is not watching someone change their baby on the table next to me. Changing the diaper on the table. All right, so the baby changing episode did not last long, but it did leave a mark on the table on my brain. I finished my sandwich. I still have enough for another sandwich, which I will probably need by the end of the day because we've been further delayed. So we don't leave till about 7 o'clock to get out to Atlanta, and then we have to go to New Orleans. Our duty day before the delays was 11 and a half hours. So it's going to push us probably to about 13 and a half hours from what I'm going to guess. Still legal. We're legal for that. But it's going to be a long day. So I'm glad I have enough for one more sandwich. I might break into... Oh, I ate my cookie too. I guess I can't have my ginger snaps. I already finished my cookies, so it's very good. All right. That's my exciting update on the flight so far. Oh, these sits are exhausting. They're exhausting. Just got 2 other notifications that our flight is delayed again and then delayed again. So right now I don't think it's leaving till 7:48 p.m. So I don't know what's happening. And when I get to Atlanta, I'll look at our duty time and see if we're going to be legal to continue on for the rest of the day. We'll see, because these delays are stretching an already long day. So we'll see. We'll find out. I love my job. I do. I just don't like these sits. That's all. All right. See you later. Hey there. Well, how pretty. Look at the color of the sunset over there. So pretty. So pretty. I am tired. I'm very tired. The cat, did I tell you that Buddy woke me up by throwing up on me? There was a sheet between me and him, but that sheet did not stay dry. I'll tell you, he threw up a big fat hairball. It was quite impressive, actually, what he threw up. But yeah, he choked up a hairball and the associated fluids that come with if you have cats, you know. But that was about 4:30 this morning. I'm not sure if I told you that. So woke up at 4:30. I realized at 10 o'clock last night, I was playing a video game. I realized at 10 o'clock that I had to be ready for work. I hadn't watered the plants. I hadn't put the food out. I hadn't filled the water fountains. I hadn't cleaned the litter box. I hadn't done any of that. I hadn't packed my bag. I just sat and played a video game all day yesterday. Such is my life. So I think I got to sleep probably about 11 o'clock after all of that. And I wanted to sleep until 5:15, 5:20. But Buddy just, he had different ideas. But yeah, look how pretty that sky is. So it's been a long day. We flew to Indianapolis. And then we had a sit that was supposed to be 2 hours and 25 minutes. And they added 2 or 3 hours on top of that. And then we flew here to Atlanta, 1 hour and 7 minutes. And then we're going to fly to New Orleans as soon as we can get passengers on board. So very much looking forward to getting to the hotel where I can just honestly probably eat the rest of my chicken salad and then go to sleep because I'm tired. Your boy is tired. I have to go talk to the captain, yeah, I'll see you later. Welcome to New Orleans. I am very happy to say that this day is over. Once we get in the shuttle, it'll officially be over, and I cannot wait to get into bed. I'll try to say hi to you before I pass out. Oh my God. This airport goes on forever. Do I stop complaining? No. Did I mention I'm working with an amazing crew? I don't think I would have survived this day if I did not have this crew. A lot of laughs, a lot of great stories, really really fun, professional, really top-notch crew. So there's that. I wouldn't have survived it without them. I can't even talk. I'm so tired. Ah. Oh my God. Hey guys, hi. Oh, I just finally got to my hotel room. The shuttle took an hour to get here. I called Hotel Connections to get an Uber or a shuttle or something to the hotel. And just as they were about to do so, the hotel shuttle finally showed up. But it took them an hour. It was a long time to wait for a shuttle after a very long day. You know, I keep complaining. The hits just keep coming. But I'm here at the hotel. It is 11:51 in the morning here in New Orleans. You know, we started our day. I started my day at 4:30 with Buddy throwing up a hairball on me. But it's been a real long day. I am really hungry, but I'm also not in the mood to eat at the same time. So I might just have a little piece of cheese with a couple crackers just to kind of get something in my stomach before I go to bed. I really wish I had cut my hair. Look at this. I look like a chicken. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up a little bit early for breakfast because sometimes it's good. And then think about what to do. I really don't have the heart to go into New Orleans, into the French Quarter, for example, because it's going to be very hot and very humid and potentially raining. But I also want to go at the same time. It's been a little while since I've been down there. And it's nice to bring some content other than me just complaining about how long my day was. So I might go into the city just for you. In the meantime, I need to grab a little nibble. I have the TV on right now watching Thor Dark World or something. I didn't see it. And I'm going to get myself to sleep soon. So I will talk to you tomorrow. All right? Have a good night. Good morning, sleepyhead. How did you sleep? I slept moderately well. I got to bed probably about 1 o'clock this morning just watching HGTV. I never watched hotel television. For some reason I did, and so I just stayed awake. Then woke up around 9 o'clock thinking, I'll get some breakfast. Then I remembered how much more delicious sleep is rather than a breakfast buffet that's been sitting out since 6 a.m. But then at 10 o'clock, I'm like, my belly was rumbling. So here I am, grabbing some breakfast. They looks pretty good. The eggs look a little dried out, but they look like real eggs, which is nice. Bacon looks good. French toast sticks over there. Oatmeal, some fruit. All right, so let's eat. There is my breakfast plate. I do have some French toast sticks that were okay. And I got syrup all over my shirt and my belly. I should have a bib. But I suspect, well, there's a reunion happening here. And looking at the folks that are attending, engaging them against my own age and self, I'm going to suspect that it may be the class of 1975, a high school class of 1975. Was it May? Did I graduate in May or June? I don't remember, but I graduated high school 38 years ago. I've never been to a reunion. There's only maybe 2 people I would really hope to see at the reunion, and many, many, many more that I would never hope to ever see in my life again, for fear of me doing something mean to them. Because high school was really torture. High school was really torture. Yeah, everyone in my high school class knew each other since their first year of kindergarten. I mean, they knew each other from the beginning. And then I walked in sophomore year of high school, gay and fat and very unlike everyone around me. And it was just torture. Yeah, maybe if we have a 40th reunion, isn't that crazy? I might attend because I'm feeling much better about myself than I did way back then. But we'll see. It's a couple years from now. Yeah, stay with me. We'll do it together. Meanwhile, I'm gonna eat. All right, when in New Orleans, I end up on Bourbon Street just like I end up in Times Square when I go to New York. There's tons of pride flags flying around, which is very nice. I'm gonna head down towards the water and walk around. I'm not quite sure what else I'm gonna do while I'm down here, but here we are in New Orleans. That is a sturdy looking building, right? Surrounded by pride flags everywhere. That's an ancient one up there. A lot of these houses here are for sale. I did not want to go into that open house. It looked like there was one solitary person sitting in a little tiny chair desperately waiting for somebody, and I didn't want to offer them a beacon of false hope, right? So I'm gonna head in this direction. I've been down here before, I think when I went to the Voodoo Museum or something. I don't know, we'll see. Just walking about. How charming is that? And another of these little half houses. How interesting. Beautiful, beautiful houses down here. A lot of them for sale. I don't know if you can't really see the for sale sign from here, but in the last block, I've probably passed 5 or 6 residences for sale. So interesting. If you've got some money, you want to throw it at some houses, here you are. I will say I'm beginning to regret coming down here. I've only been down here for maybe 40 minutes tops, but I am getting so hot. I'm actually feeling a little like floppy. I of course did not bring a hat. Of course I did not bring sunscreen. So, but it's really incredibly hot down here. It's only about 90 degrees, but the humidity is just through the roof. I just passed by somebody who looked like he was passing out too, so I checked on him to make sure he didn't need 911, but he looked like he was in bad shape. But yeah, it's very, very hot, and I don't suspect I'll be down here for long. I'm probably going to head back to the hotel after getting a good eyeful, since I did spend, I don't know, almost $20 getting down here in an Uber. But it's nice to see the place. Let's in on Peter. Look, another of these half houses. What's going on? I have to look into that. The color palette here in New Orleans makes me think a lot of San Juan, with like blues and whites and navies and mints and peaches and pinks and greens and all sorts of really pretty colors. Obviously the architecture is a lot different. Well, maybe not. Actually, you see a lot of the same sort of style with these shutters and things, a way to get air moving through without allowing a lot of light in the room. But yeah, I see a lot of similarities between here and Puerto Rico. It must be the weather that creates these similarities. I do see this sign everywhere today, so if you're local to the area or you know what this means, keep for waste. I see that sign everywhere I look right now, almost as much as I see for sale signs. There's another place for sale here. I'm heading down towards, I don't know what that is. Is that, it's a church or cathedral or something. I know Pope John Paul II spoke there. That's all I really know, but I'm heading in that direction. Today's a good day for a good day. I agree. Yeah, see, this keep for waste sign is everywhere I go. Whew, it is almost unbearable down here. Holy crap. I'm on Royal Street, which is much more attractive and a little less chaotic than Bourbon Street, mostly because people aren't walking around, you know, drunk. There's the antique and art galleries, but really, really pretty street. There's a little lingerie shop right there. Oh, the voodoo shop. I bought a strand of beads there years and years ago, my first layover here, and I broke them. I'd like to see if they have any more. I remember being tempted to buy something like this. This is supposed to be like the phases of life and of man, different phases of man through the ages. Alright, I don't see the beads I want. I stopped in this beautiful hat shop. It's gorgeous hats. The hats are very expensive. They're very expensive. You'd expect that here in this location, but $250 for a straw hat. I'm sure I'll eventually find it at Goodwill. There is a little one-man band over here. Kind of cool. A lot of art galleries. I'd like to walk into a few and just poke around and show you, but I don't want to film inside someone's gallery, but I can't not show you this even from the doorway. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Oh, I would love that in my home. Alright. Oh, this is someone doing tarot card readings. While I was in the voodoo shop, I overheard, because I couldn't resist, I overheard, of course I'm eavesdropping really, which is what I'm doing. There was a woman having her cards read in for a tarot card reading. And the woman who was reading the cards was speaking very loudly, so it made it easier to hear. And she's just going on and on and on about her own experiences and with life. In the last like 30 seconds, she kind of tried to bring it back around to the client. It was really amusing. The word grift comes to mind, but I'm sure I've told you this story. I was probably 29 years old, maybe 30, maybe younger. But a friend and I went to someone to have our cards read. And so the agreement was, it was $5. So cheap. So clearly this is a long time ago. If they didn't get me right, if they didn't read me, air quotes again, in the first like 2 minutes, they'd refund me the money. And so I thought, well, that can't hurt. So I took off the little gay pin I had on my denim jacket, and I didn't speak with such flair as I do. And the woman spent the next minute and a half telling me how I was going to have 3 children, and that she saw 2 burning towers, and she said something about my career path with these 2 burning towers, and she went on and on and on for a minute and a half, and she said a lot. And I said, I'm sorry to have you stop. You clearly aren't really reading me correctly today, because none of this has any connection to me. If you know me, I had 3 cats. They were my everything. They were my children. They were everything to me. So when Claire died, that devastated me. And then when this is clearly before 9/11, because 2 burning towers. I'm from Boston, where the planes left from to go hit the World Trade Center. It's so funny that like decades after the fact, what she said totally made sense. so I don't discount that stuff, but I also don't believe it at the same time. So blah blah blah. I had to slip a story about me in there somewhere, right? Oh, look at that. It's an art gallery, but I have one of those mannequins. It's a female mannequin. She's a plus size girl. Why did I buy a plus size woman mannequin to live in my garage? No idea. It was $25. I had to buy it. Wow! Look at the jewelry. Look at those jewels. Wowzers. Holy crap. All right, let's go. Let's keep walking. Boob sweat is becoming a real thing right now. Oh, suffering. Ooh. I found this little shop. I love this shirt. I love that shirt. I found this little shop. It's called Luxury Liquidation. It's not consignment, but I'm not quite sure. It looks from outside like a thrift shop, but we'll see. Oh, it's nice in here. Where's the men's stuff? All right, I'm buying a pair of shoes. They're on sale for $60. They're kind of like this one, different pattern. They're like $60. They're on sale from $155. But oh my God, I love them. Super excited. So this is the name of the company. All right, so I don't spend money on clothes anymore. I don't spend money on shoes anymore because I thrift so successfully and I have so much. But when I show you, let me show you these. I can't wait to show you these shoes. When I saw these, I just about fainted, and they fit. I've been looking for a mule, like a slide, but a mule, forever. And I have one pair of sort of turmeric colored suede shoes that I love. It's an African company. This is a Moroccan company. Look at that. It's like made of a piece of carpet or rug with a beautiful leather sole. Isn't that fantastic? Now picture these. Picture this, Sicily, 1928. Picture these with like a wide leg Ralph Lauren linen pant. So excited. I did feel guilty spending the money, $60. I didn't need to, after spending $20 to get down here. But you know, I just made $273 profit, $265 profit off a painting I paid $5 for. So I don't feel too bad. And they have another store half a block down with maybe a different selection of these shoes. I might buy another pair. So this is the name of the shop, UAL, United Apparel Liquidators. There's another store down here somewhere. There it is. Oh, I'm sorry, I almost ran these ladies over in the effort to get over to the store. What's going on down there? There's some live music happening down there. I'll check that out in a minute. But I found the other of the stores that I was just in. It's called United Apparel Liquidators. I'm gonna go in there and see if they have a different selection of these shoes, because I will buy another pair. Hi, how are you? Dazzled by your store. I was in the other location and I found the most amazing shoes. Look at your amazing store. How did this come to be, this store? Where's that card she gave me? So there was another pair that I almost bought, but they're practically identical in pattern, so I don't need two of the same shoes. But this is the company, United Apparel Liquidators. If you want to do a little look-see at their website, I am super impressed with them. It was the little company that started out with a husband and wife just reselling overstock, you know, and their selection of designers is fairly limited because of how they source the materials. But these shoes, oh my God, I am on a cloud right now. I'm so happy. Ladies, you understand, right? Okay. I feel better. I don't even feel as hot anymore. Although my shirt's becoming transparent, or translucent, I should say. And my nipples are going to start making an appearance anytime soon. Don't look too closely, girls. They're doing some renovations over here. Beautiful. Some music. There's usually a whole slew of fortune tellers over here, and there's only two. One here and one over there. Beautiful park. Of course I had to stop, right? Look, oh my gosh. I love that one. So cute. Look at that. Looks like Buddy and Clint got together and did a painting. There's a couple people. You can see the gold one, and then there's a silver one behind me. There are a couple of guys statuing, which is where you disguise yourself as a sculpture and you just stand still for all day, and people pay to take pictures of you. I actually have a friend who used to be a professional statuer, if that's what they're called, years and years ago in Harvard Square. He would spend his entire day standing still, and people threw money in his little basket. He made a fair living off it. I'm passing by Cafe du Monde, right behind me here. I am walking past it because in my current state, the idea of fried dough does not sound very appealing. So I'm gonna walk past it and go down to the French Market, if it's still down there. I'm sure it still is. Oh My gosh, look at those clouds. Really, really pretty. Aren't they pretty? The day looks beautiful. It's very sunny. There's a little tiny bit of a breeze. The clouds are gorgeous, but the day wants to kill me. I can handle Las Vegas heat much easier than I can handle New Orleans heat. I'd rather be back in Vegas with this humidity. But I wanted to cross the tracks and show you the Mississippi River, because if you've never seen it before, well, funny, the sun is beaming on me and I just felt a raindrop. Here's my view of the Mississippi. And if you look way down here, you'll see a paddle ship or a steamship, whatever those are called. I took a tour, maybe an hour-long tour, years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But this is the Mississippi. There you go. Now you can't see, but you can. I can tell that the currents really are crazy here. They're going both directions. It must be very difficult to maneuver the water here, but this is the Mississippi. So and there's one of the ships now, this little paddle ship or steamship right there. I think it was like $35 to take maybe an hour and a half tour up and down this part of the Mississippi. There's a great little tour, narrated tour of what you're seeing on the banks of the river, and there was a some sort of Dixie band playing as well. It was really entertaining. But I am now going to walk back to the French Quarter, find something cold to drink, maybe get out of the sun for a few minutes, and then go back to the hotel room because I am really drenched. You can't see them because I'm not going to show them to you, but everyone else around you here can see my nipples, I'm sure, through my shirt right now. It is saturated. All right, so let's get something cold to drink, and I'll see you later. Oof. Well, I found the market, and I suspect I'll be able to find something cold to drink in here. There's some snacks. I bought years and years and years ago pure shea butter and unrefined shea butter, and I would love to find out if they still sell it here. Pralines. Who could eat a praline in this humidity? Oh my God, it'd be so sticky. I'm gonna look for that shea butter, poke around, and find something cold to drink. Everything seems to be alcoholic. I'm sure I could ask for something virgin. We'll see. I'm not dying yet. Alright, so the market here is everything from jewelry, sunglasses, carved stone, whistles, more handmade jewelry, books, absolutely everything. Lots of masks. You can buy an alligator head if you want to, or an alligator claw as a back scratcher. How funny is that? Lots of t-shirts. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Lots of hats. Hats. I wish I had a hat, but I'm not going to buy one of these things, and I'm certainly not going to spend $80 to $250 on a straw hat. Beads. You can get beads and not have to show your boobies. Pens. Leather bags. You got the idea, right? Look at this. Look. It's all little Lego people. How great is that? Talk about a niche product, right? Beef tallow body butter. Oh no. Beef tallow body butter. No. That's a hard no. All right. So this is the market. Well, I got my shea butter. I'm very excited. It's a good sized container for $7. Very excited. Shea butter. You can use shea butter everywhere, anywhere, and it's amazing. It's amazing. And this is like, you know, unprocessed, pure shea butter. So excited. And definitely makes me think of the artist Johnston. His last name is Johnston, I think, at the Guggenheim on one of my last trips. She had black soap, which was used in a lot of his artwork there. Oh, all right. So I got my shea butter. I'm gonna get something cold to drink, and then I'm gonna jump in a Lyft or an Uber, whichever is cheaper. I will see you back at the hotel. This fire department vehicle was just asking me. The guy behind me over here, down there, was breathing. The guy's drunk. His head is on his chest. He's got a beer in his hand. He's cross-legged, no shoes. He has a dog that's chained up to the fence, so it really can't move its head very much. And there's a very small cat with little black and white kittens in a plastic bin in front of him. I have noticed that I haven't seen many homeless people in most of the tourist areas here. I really haven't seen anybody that I've recognized as being homeless or destitute. But up around the marketplace where I just was, there are more resources. There's public restrooms with running water and fountains and things, and so there's a bunch of homeless folks over there. But right now, all I can see is that guy passed out on the sidewalk with a beer in his hand. Those poor kittens in a plastic bin on that poor dog. It's all I can think of right now. Like, what do you do? I stopped into this sort of little grocery full of like olives and hot sauce and different spice mixes, cheeses, little Italian section. Really cool. It's also like 70 degrees in here, which is really nice, but I just need something cold to drink. There's a little deli. I don't see drinks. All right, I got a ice cold Barks root beer. They had to get the bottle opener for me, and I have a Diet Coke in here as well for later on. Back into the heat. All right, I think it's time to go back to the hotel room. Oh, how charming. If I could live here, I wouldn't, but if I could. This is where I want to live. Look at this little doorway with the trees and the flowers, these little plants over here. There's limes growing on that lime bush over there. And then there's this door. And look how great. Look how charming. Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. All right, so let's take a last glance at, don't piss on my plants, okay. A little glance of some of the character of New Orleans before I call my Uber or Lyft. I'll see you later on at the hotel room. A very good time to leave. Did I get color today? Did I get more sun, or is that just more age spots? I look like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Look at my head. But I am very, very happy to be back in the hotel room with the air conditioning, and good timing on my part. It started to rain when I got in the Uber, and then when we got on the expressway, the freeway, the highway, whatever they call it here, it started to pour raining. So very happy to be back in the hotel room. I was about to show you my shoes by sitting on the sofa, which I'm very glad I looked before I sat down, because yeah, so if you are a traveler, or if you're a new flight attendant, you know, don't sit on these upholstered pieces of furniture unless you really, really look. Now, in person, I see that blob right there. I see one little spot here, and I see that spot here. The rest of that stuff that you can see, I don't see it with my naked eye, but I see it on my phone. So always look at your upholstered fabric before you sit on it, because that's just gross. Looks like Dexter. But I wanted to show you my new shoes on my little feet. I just love these beyond words. I love them. It looks like they're pieces of carpet or something. I'm not quite sure. But they're leather soles. They're lined in leather, and I just love the colors, that chocolate brown, that sort of ochre, the blues, the beiges. I just think that's great. I love these. I'll wear these, oh gosh, year round, especially in Vegas. But with like a pair of jeans or a pair of shorts, or I have a pair of wide leg Ralph Lauren linen pants I haven't worn yet. I don't think I fit in them right now, but these would be fantastic with those. And I wanted to show you the shea butter I bought. This is, I don't know how big this is, how many ounces. Oh, 8 ounces, 8 ounces. It is very solid, it's very heavy and very dense. It looks whipped and very creamy, but it's not. It's definitely solid. I just scraped a tiny bit with my fingernail and used it on my lips because my lips were very dry because I haven't had enough water today. Very nice. I'll use it around my eyes at nighttime especially. I use Hope in a Jar moisturizer by Philosophy, but around my eyes I'll use this, and I'll work it into my beard when my beard is a little bit too long to give it some control. So I use that stuff all the time. That jar is going to last me probably 2 years, if not longer. It says it doesn't spoil as long as it's kept in a cool space, so my last jar lasted me probably 4 years. It was a much larger container though, but blah, blah, blah. So I'm very excited about the shea butter, the shoes, the air conditioning. So it's been a good layover. I did spend a fair amount of money today. So I spent about 20 bucks each way. So 40 bucks on an Uber, plus the shoes, those were 60. The shea butter was $7, and then I bought 2 sodas. That was $8 for those. So I've spent a fair amount of money today, but I had a really nice time, and all of that was paid for by that little painting I sold on eBay. I mean, I still have some money left over from that purchase, from that sale. So yay, I don't feel bad about spending the money because I made it through selling a painting I paid $5 for, and I got $300 for it. I think after fees, I got $270 something, $273. So yay, I don't feel bad at all about spending that money on myself. Now I'm going to use my Sabbath heat, and I'm going to heat up some lasagna and have that for a late lunch, early dinner. My shuttle is at 5:30 in the morning, so I'm gonna wake up about 4:45. So I'll be going to bed fairly early tonight. The Wi-Fi here is horrible, so I'm not gonna be able to play the video game I usually do, but I'll fart around, I'll read, I'll do something, but it's gonna be bedtime shortly after I eat. So I may not see you until tomorrow morning. All right, so you have a great night, and I will see you later. It's been about 30 seconds since I said I would see you tomorrow, but I just turned around and saw the bed. They made up my room. Now, I feel bad. I didn't have a Do Not Disturb sign. There wasn't one on the door, front or back, so I didn't put it up there, but I didn't think they would come in and actually make up the room. I feel bad only because, like, I don't make my bed at home. Never mind make someone make the bed twice for me when I stay here. So it's just a lot of effort on their part, but, well, they made up the bed. It'll be nice to sleep in a freshly made bed. I hope they didn't bother changing the sheets. That seems like overkill for me. I am going to take a little tiny nap. Don't tell anybody. Good morning, if that's what it is. It is 5:11 a.m. I've got about 3 or 4 minutes before I'm going to head downstairs for the shuttle. I did not get a lot of sleep. I'm feeling very groggy right now. There was a pool party, not only the reunion, but this is a separate group of people, because I looked out the window at them all the time, like Gladys Kravitz. I was like, who's making all that noise? Little old lady here. So yeah, there was a pool party, which felt like it was in my room. Pow, 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 pow. DJ, lots of really good music, people in the pool. No one seemed to be dancing though, which is weird because the music was really good. But it just kept going and going until early evening. And by the time I got in bed at like 9 o'clock, thinking, that's enough sleep, I was so irritated by the noise and that I don't think I slept until 11 o'clock. And then I had to wake up at 4:15 to get ready for work. So yeah, still complaining. Still complaining about my life. My luxury problems. In recovery, these are called luxury problems. Did you drink? Did you die? You're fine. Yeah, so I did not sleep a lot, but I've got caffeine. I think there's coffee downstairs. I'm all packed up and ready to go. We're flying to Vegas, so that shouldn't take 3 hours, maybe 3 hours. Then we do a Burbank turn. I don't think we have any sits, and I think the weather should be okay to get there, so we'll see. But I've got a great crew. Looking forward to working with them again today. And yeah, all is well. I love my job. My crew's amazing. The passengers are usually amazing. So, no problem. I just need a little caffeine. Blah, blah, blah. Let me go. I'll talk to you soon. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. I'm a little bit more awake because I did have some coffee. It is 6:33. We're going to be boarding in just a minute or two. We got to the gate. Then they switched our gate to the other side of the airport. But we got here a little bit early and had a great chance to meet Janisha, also known as Nicole, who I adore. Her wife is going to be on board today. Yeah, 3 hours and 12 minutes to Vegas. See you there. Whoa, hello, how are ya? So, just dropped something. So hey, how are ya? Our flight from New Orleans was pretty easy. Passengers were great, no drama, no trauma. Most of them slept the entire time. We are going to Burbank. What was that? What? Did you say, hey, Steven, you seem to be in Burbank every single trip? Yes, you're right. Every road leads to Burbank, apparently. The past month and a half, I've been going to Burbank at the end of every trip. But this is the last time for a little while, I think. So we have a Burbank turn. We're supposed to be back in Vegas about 1:30, almost 2 o'clock, something like that. I do have to stop and get some cat treats because I am almost out. I made an emergency run the other day, but I didn't buy enough. And I would love to be able to go over to the fantastic indoor swap meet. Not that I like the swap meet. You guys know I hate the swap meet. But the vintage section is open until 5 or 6 tonight, and my friend Sonny has a booth there. I'd like to just pop over and say hi. Plus he had something on a shelf in one of his most recent videos that I would like for myself. Yeah, so that's the plan. I am going to settle in and make another chicken salad sandwich, and that's my day. I will probably see you when I arrive back here in Las Vegas. I'm not going to show you Burbank again because you've seen that airport 1,000 times. So I'll see you soon. Hey guys, hi, welcome home. You know it's hot and you know it's sunny when you're trying to hide from the sun in the shadow of barbed wire. Yeah, I'm seeking solace in the shade of barbed wire. That's how sunny it is and how hot it is. So I'm gonna get back to the car and give you a little synopsis of the day. I am not going to be sharing some details with you that are interesting. They're just not appropriate for me to talk about. But one day I'm going to do a compilation or a little video of things you should not do on an airplane. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. But I'll give you. Oh my God, it's so hot. I'll give you a synopsis when I get in the car with the air conditioning going. Hey there, hi. So I am sorry I didn't give you a little synopsis of the day. I'll do that later on. But I was trying to get out of the parking lot as quick as I could so that someone could get my parking spot. Parking was at a premium today. I am walking into, yeah, not my favorite place in the world, but my friend, YouTube friend, I should say. We've only met a handful of times, but he's such a good guy. He has a booth here at the Antique Mall. I wanted to stop by and see him and say hi, but also I wanted to see if there's something that I saw on a shelf of his in one of his videos. I was interested in how much it was, so I'm gonna check it out. I think is it $1 or $2 to get in? $1. Great, I'll see you inside. All right, so I'm inside. When I paid to get in, she looked up at me and goes, "One senior?" I'm like, yeah. It's 50 cents to get in if you're a senior. I look older than I am, but no surprise to you guys. Let's find the vintage area, which I think is off forward to the left. Does this look familiar? It feels just like the market yesterday in New Orleans. That's what it feels like. A little less crowded. All right, here's the vintage market. I bought a little fan. I couldn't say no. $3? Oh, yes, please. Take my money. This is Sonny's booth. Sonny is the guy walking away with the long hair. He's such a nice man. He's walking a customer over to someone else's booth because they might have something that better suits their needs than what they found here. I mean, he's such a nice man, but he's got a great little booth with all sorts of fun stuff. In particular, he has discovered that there are a lot of people who like cute cat stuff. Look. I'm actually literally tempted to buy a couple of these things. I want this Andy Warhol cat mug, but it's $30. He's going to give me a discount on it. I still don't know if I want to spend that much money for a mug. And I'll never use it. I just want it to own it. But he's got great cat stuff. Really, really fun stuff. I also want that. See the green? Recognize the bird? Yes. So that is a Viking piece. He wants $150 for it. He said he'd give me a discount. It's still too much money. I'm not going to spend that much money. But yeah, fun stuff, right? He's got a good eye. All right, I'm going to chat with him, and then I will see you later. I have to eat or I'm going to pass out. Hi. Oh, wait. Sonny. Hi, Sonny. Yay. I've been singing your praises while you were walking away. No, I already have one. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, no. I'm dying in my house. He wants to buy my house sight unseen. Okay. Hi. So I promised myself I wasn't going to buy anything. I was successful in not buying any cat figurines because I really don't need any. But I was walking out of the... oh, thank you, sweetheart. I walked out of the vintage section. And on the way, I saw this one little booth, just some fun little things. So I just browsed around for a moment. And then I saw two things that really spoke to me. One of which, I'm sorry, love. One of which was just pretty. And I just wanted it because it was pretty and it was cheap. The other thing I have to show you in the car, and I'll tell you why I picked it up. Yeah, let me tell you when I got in the car. This place is chaos. Hello, Eleanor. Are you glad I'm home? Are you glad I'm home? I love you. Pretty girl. Hey guys, how are you? So it's just past 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I just left, gotten off, ended. What's the proper phrase there? I just left a Zoom meeting, a Zoom recovery meeting. My friend Ron, from my first days of sobriety, started this Zoom recovery meeting during COVID, I believe, and he's just kept it rolling. And I'm so grateful he did, because some people that witnessed my first days sober were at this meeting on Zoom, and I get the chance to see Tiffany and Bill and Ron and the rest. And they're just, honestly, in my mind, they're superheroes. They really, really taught me so much about how to stay sober through anything. And I just treasure them. And the fact that I get to see them once a week on a Sunday now is such a treat. It's such a treat. So I just ended that meeting. The person who was scheduled to speak at the meeting did not show up. So Ron asked me to share, which is really generous of him. I spoke for about 35 minutes, which is not a shock to anybody on my channel. But I talked about what my alcoholism was like, what recovery has been like, what the challenges have been, what the celebrations have been, and where I find myself now, you know, fairly recent after challenging life choices, to be in my own little condo with my kitty cats and things that I love surrounding me. It's just, my life is, I'm just so lucky. I'm so lucky. I've worked hard for this, but I'm so lucky. But I digress. I wanted to show you two things that I ended up buying at the fantastic indoor swap meet, which is not fantastic, but the vintage section is rather cool. I did buy two things. Sonny had some pieces. Sonny had some pieces that I adored, and he had them priced
rationally. He had them priced the right way. They're beyond my price point, and he definitely would give me a discount, but still it would have been a little bit more than I wanted to spend. I would like him to sell those things at a regular price so he can make some more money. I'm going to drop off a couple things to him that he could sell in his booth that I'm just never going to list on my own. So I'm going to drop those off for him next month. But I did buy two things while I was walking out. I saw this little booth and I just could not resist this first thing that I have to show you. It is further proof that I am literally an old lady. It is a candy dish, a little teal glass candy dish, which, oh, doesn't that sound nice? So sweet. It's got this little like icicle finial on top. I think it's Empoli, which is Italian-made glass. I don't know much about this, but I believe it's Empoli, mostly because of this little finial here and this form. I'll look into it, but I loved it. It was $16. She gave me a deal. But I also bought this little pot. Now, the shoulder is sort of the soft lavender that reminds me a lot of some of the sunsets here in Las Vegas. It's kind of a crude ginger jar with this domed lid, which I think is actually my favorite part of the piece. But it's got this sort of beigey glaze on top here in the middle with little manganese dots that kind of show through the glaze. I have to show you the lid. It's the best part. It's such a beautifully thrown lid. I mean, it's really, whoever did this was really skilled in this this type of work. Beautiful lid. And I love the glaze on top. Just a really pretty piece. And the pot itself is well thrown. Looking at its form, I suspect that they were using a little too much water when throwing it, just in terms of how the form is sort of slumped a little bit. I can see what they intended, but I think the clay was a little wet. And when they trimmed it, I think it was a little wet for trimming. But I still love it. And it was, I think she had it marked at $25. The lady that was selling it had it marked at $25. Where did I put the lid? And so I said, you know, I fell in love with that little candy dish, and I said, "Oh, could I buy this, please?" She goes, "Yeah, I'll give you a good deal." And I looked around and I saw this little ceramic piece, and I heard music, little harp strings. When Claire died, when my cat Claire died about 3.5 years ago, that pain was enormous. I had no idea. I was not prepared for the pain that I would suffer with Claire's passing. And I still suffer. I still get sad about thinking about how much I loved her. But one of the things that really was a challenge was finding something that I could put her ashes in that I loved, that I really felt was like her, you know. And eventually I did find it. This is the piece that I eventually bought for Claire's ashes. There's some of her hair, and her ashes are underneath there. But I found this piece in a vintage shop in Oakland, and I just thought this was gorgeous. And so since I bought this for Claire, I thought, well, you know, Eleanor and Buddy are going to pass one day, hopefully a very long time from now. They're going to have to put me in a locked psych ward afterwards. I don't know what's going to happen to me, especially when Buddy, one day he's going to go. But when I saw this piece, I thought, oh my God, this is perfect. Because one day when Eleanor, when Eleanor goes, because she's going to one day, hopefully it's a long time from now, I would like to have something that I can put her ashes in. And I just thought this was a perfect piece. She had it listed at $25, and so she gave me this and the candy dish for $30 even, which was more than fair. She has to pay rent for that place. And I think these pieces are gorgeous. And particularly, I love this. Just look at this glaze in the sun. Hold on one sec. Look at that glaze. It just makes me think of labradorite. It's a gemstone that is, well, it's called labradorescence, but it's sometimes people use the word chatoyancy. In terms of this like holographic finish that you'll see with different gemstones, I just thought this color was so pretty. And I like the soft organic form here. And I just thought, well, you know what? One day when Eleanor goes, I can put her at rest in this pottery piece. It complements the piece I have for Claire. I'm still going to be on the lookout for something for Buddy because I think he needs something a little bit more grandiose. The fact that I'm able to talk about them passing one day without bursting into tears is really growth for me. But I found this perfect piece. So this is going to be eventually where Eleanor is going to rest. I felt a little weird when buying it because she's not dead, obviously. But this is kind of like, for me, it's kind of the equivalent of when my grandparents bought their burial plots for themselves and their children. You know, they planned ahead. So this is me planning ahead for one day when I have to face the ugly reality of losing Eleanor, for example. If Buddy goes first, I'm going to have to get something much more grand for him because he is such a diva. Yeah, that's the day. I've had a really nice day. I am going to settle in for a nap after taking some Tums because my lunch is rising. I tell you everything, don't I? But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for this video. Thank you so much for being with me during this. This video, as usual, is all over the place, but you keep coming back. I'll talk to you later. Fly safe.